Hey there, welcome back to another Reddit reading video thing that I do here. I am Ramona. The smell of logic is this channel, and today's little topic is going to be what's something you always judge people for, even though you know you shouldn't. Which I think we're all probably guilty of this kind of stuff before. Adults who still type U, the letter U, instead of U, Y-O-U. You have a full keyboard, use it. Along these lines, no punctuation drives me crazy. One of my friends sent me like 2 paragraphs in text, and there was not a single period or comma. Like, Jesus Christ, some people just need to live off the edge. Singing, even though I'm a bad singer too. Their accent. Ooh. My craziest accent failure is that I love Nicole Kidman in To Die For. And then she did the most perfect American accent ever. And then I heard her actual Australian accent on a talk show, and I thought it was awful. The crazy part is I 100% or 99% adore the English accents that I've heard. People who talk on speakerphone in public, like we all need to hear their drama. Oh God, yes. There's a lot of these comments. I'm going to warn you now. There's a lot of people with that kind of is annoyed. People are annoyed by that. Yeah, and there's replies saying, honestly, it is rude. They should be judged for it. They have so many ways to do personal transport, which you don't have to bother other people. You just have to use any brand or headphones, earbuds, blah blah blah. Yeah, there's a lot of that. A lot of that in this thread as well. Trying too hard socially. I know it probably comes from insecurity and people being shitty in the past for those people, but I do feel bad. But God, it's annoying to just be hanging out and have one person who's talking away too much, bringing up random stuff to try and impress people, and overall being too much because they're trying to get everyone to like them. I find that usually focus on that too much that they miss they miss every social cue of people not enjoying it. Is that what most people would consider the main character syndrome kind of thing, where you think, yeah. Anyway, eating too much. Oh, there's a lot of these on this one too. Like, it doesn't bother me if someone is overweight, but seeing someone shovel more food in their mouth for lunch than I eat in a couple of days really grosses me out for some reason. Drugs. Anyone who makes a full meal in the office microwave and stinks up the whole place. Adults who are way too much into Disney. Like, I get nostalgia, but calm down. Yeah, I can get behind that too. Someone replied with Peter Pan syndrome with denial. Not liking pineapple on pizza. No, I completely disagree. Pineapple on pizza is disgusting. My husband disagrees, but I don't care. Their political views. No explanation needed. Personal hygiene. Parents who let their kids watch YouTube on full volume in restaurants. Use headphones, please. Yeah, there's a lot of that. A lot. People who eat a Kit Kat without breaking it first. Just absolute chaos energy. How they speak, bad grammar, etc. I grew up thinking that meant they were not intelligent. I have since learned that it's not always the case. People who take photos of themselves crying and post it. Why? There's such a trend of this. And it's been going on for a long time. It's not like, brand new. But yeah, this crying. And they say things like, I'm having a really bad day. I don't want to talk about it right now. Then don't post it. Exactly. Just shut up. We all have bad days. We all want to cry. Things are shitty, but just don't post it on social media. Go eat a candy bar or drink a cup of coffee or something. I don't know. Me, drink a pot of coffee. That helps. Parents in restaurants with young kids and plonking a tablet or iPad in front of them. Talk to your kids and teach them that there are times they have to sit still for a bit without constant entertainment. Yeah, that's going to really fuck some people up when they grow up. And I've already started to see that. There's a lot of kids and preteens and teens that are unable to focus in that manner. People who wear sweats or pajamas in public. Hell, everyone I know does that. I don't, but yeah, you see that a lot in my line of work. Neglecting their children. Yeah, you should judge people for neglecting their children, though. Let's be fair. Oakland Raiders gear and tattoos. Ouch. See, I can't say anything because I get a lot of Cowboys hate. So, yeah. Judge me. I don't care. People who don't understand how apostrophes work. I really feel like it's a simple concept and is one of those few things in English that has clear rules with no exceptions. When a person's clothes are covered in fuzz or hair. Well, okay, I can't. I'm guilty of this. I have a lot of dogs and cats, and I can't escape. People who that go into restaurants and order a ton of food then remark it's for their family and not just them. I wasn't judging you, but now I am because it's probably all for you and you should just own it as it is. People who don't use turn signals. I think this person must live in New Mexico because turn signals in New Mexico are like totally optional. No one ever uses them. I do, but it's because I'm special. Just joking. Vaping. Oh, God. Having a lot of kids back to back. I'm not talking like 2 pregnancies with twins, so they end up with 4, but like 5 individual pregnancies in like 5 or 6 years. I feel like there's no possible way that you could give your children the time and attention they need when you have that many. See, and I see it kind of from a different perspective. Like, your body needs time to heal. I mean, there's things that accidents happen. I've known a lot of people that said, it was kind of not planned. But your body needs to heal, man. Plus, yeah, you need more time for those kids. You need to spend enough time with each kid. Let's see. Wearing fishnets with boots or wearing boots in general in the summertime. Like, do you love having sweaty feet or something? Do your feet not sweat? Women who change their last name when they get married. Men who expect their wife to change their name. There are obvious exceptions, having a shitty original last name, complicated family history, husband has cooler last name. But Jesus, it's 2025. Also, give your kids your last name if you birthed them. Nah. I mean, it's a tradition. I realize someone's going to say, oh, it's a stupid tradition. Yeah. Personally, I would have liked to give my son my last name because there are so few people in the United States, or probably in the world, with my last name, my maiden name. I hyphened mine, but I have 4 sisters, and my dad was an only child, so our family name is done now, at least for this branch. Let's see. People who complain about a location being busy, like, aren't they always also there? People that cry in front of the camera and post on social media. See, there's quite a bit of that too. Native English speakers who make mistakes in pronunciation or choice of words. I live for that when watching the television newscasters. Wearing printed tops and printed bottoms at the same time. It's too much. Pick top or bottom, not both. That really annoys me too. I was always told, that's like really fashion faux pas kind of thing. You pick one and wear a solid color or, the other one. But I guess not so much anymore. You do you, boo. I don't know. People who are too loud and talk too much. I presume they are not very bright. People who pass along fake news and only read the headline and post completely wrong information about an article they haven't even read. If it weren't for that, there would be no news on the frickin' social medias. Smoking a tobacco. It makes your breath and clothes stink and is unhealthy. I smoked for many years before finally stopping, so I should be sympathetic, but I find it difficult. Experiencing irritating behavior is hard not to judge. I will always judge those who point out flaws about someone's physical appearance or things they can't control. No, you're not being helpful. You're just being a dick. Grown adults having birthday weeks. Is that a thing? Seriously? That's a thing? Okay. Adults of sound mind and body not working, not trying to educate themselves or train for work job opportunities, not cleaning up their homes or cars, not properly taking care of their kids or pets. I know. Drugs, poverty, poor upbringing, traumatic backgrounds, cycles of abuse, working families, lots of responsibilities. It's just, I look around, I see how much people have or how much help is available and offered or given, and still see people just not even trying sometimes. Adulting is hard. I get that. It's hard for everybody. But it's the job of adults to just do it so their kids and co-workers and communities do not further suffer from their lack of care or concern or sense of duty to others. Being lazy and overweight at the same time. I can't say anything. As someone who has grown up and worked in food service my whole life, if I go somewhere and get a bad attitude from someone serving me from the very beginning, then I'm judging hard. I get it. We have bad days and bad guests, but I hate being lumped in with all of that before I've even had a chance to say hello. I still tip good because I'm aware that it's usually caused by a bad day. Tattoos. I'm old enough that tattoos were low class when I was growing up. I work with people who have tattoos, and I have consciously have to stop myself from making a character judgment every time I see them. There's still a lot of people that do that. I have tattoos, and I know there are a lot of people that look down on me for that because my personality really does not match the typical tattoo, chick kind of thing. I'm not a chick, but you know what I mean. But you get a lot of comments about that around, no matter what you do. And I have to be fair. If I see face tattoos or neck tattoos, I'm kind of judgy. I really am. I shouldn't be, because that's hypocritical. What's the word? Hypocritical, but I do it too. Infidelity. No, you should judge infidelity. I mean, no one's forcing you to commit to somebody. If you're not ready to commit, just don't be unfaithful either. People who lean their seats all the way back and don't reposition them upright during meals on a plane. In the first part, I understand we all have the right to use the seat as we want and need, but for the second part, I feel like we can't judge. Judgmental Reddit folks. Too busy walking around with their noses in the air. Let people just live their lives. Of course, I hate everyone, so what do I know? Having more than 2 or 3 kids. 4 at a push. More than that, and I'm side-eyeing you hard. Vegans sit on their high horses. I have no patience for it. If there's one type of person I can't stand, it's the ones who play music out loud on speakers at national parks or on hikes. The majority of us are trying to enjoy nature at its purest form. Please go have your mini concert somewhere else. Younger people picking up smoking, knowing how bad it is for you. People with bad teeth. Okay, this one I get. Anyone who has a live, laugh, love sign or something similar in their house. I don't know what it is, but every single person I've met with that particular sign, type of design in their house is always effing crazy. I agree. I've known quite a few, and I can't say any of them are not crazy. Yeah. If a parent has nice hair, expensive clothes, etc., but their children look unkempt or unclean, I understand sometimes there's a circumstance that might warrant it, but I just want you to know that I am silently judging you. Being judgmental. People who have opinions that are popular but can't stand up to the slightest questioning. If you try to dig in at all, it devolves into name-calling instantly. Why don't we teach critical thinking, as is why the world is such a mess? Amen, brother or sister or non-binary sibling, because I completely agree with you there. Ignorance. I have learned that people might not know the same things as me, but that doesn't mean they're stupid, just that they've had different experiences. Also, I cannot stop judging myself for my own ignorance. So there is that. For a long time, I couldn't stand people who over-apologize because of my mother. If someone even looks at her too harshly, she starts saying, sorry, I'm sorry. Then I learned that it's often a sign of childhood abuse. See, okay, I don't, that maybe that is a sign. I'm not disagreeing there. I say I'm sorry all the time, but I'm very self-deprecating. So I'm constantly apologizing for shit that I don't have any reason to apologize for. But, that's just me. Getting second helpings of food before everyone else has got their firsts. Yeah, that is kind of annoying, but yeah. People who wear noise-canceling headphones, I think it's supposed to be while riding their bike on busy streets. I live in a major city. It seems very dangerous. People who carry on with conversations while on speakerphone in the bathrooms. Oh, God, yes. Not correcting their children when they're misbehaving in public. I understand being overwhelmed, but you can't let your child run wild in a store or nail salon. I once even saw someone's 4-year-old make it out of the door of a place once while her mother wasn't paying attention. Thankfully, I was close enough to catch her hand. Parents who expect others to parent their children. When they tell me they have self-diagnosed anything, especially DID, it's not valid. It's never been valid, and I'm not going to humor your BS. If you think you have it, you really need to get tested. Yeah, it'll take a while, but that's the point. They're doing it to eliminate everything else and give you a proper diagnosis. Refusing to get tested only reinforces my reasonable doubts in your self-diagnosis. If they're Dutch, that and prejudiced people. But people who play music loudly while walking down the street, sitting on the bus at the beach. Yeah, we've covered that. But it's still annoying. It bears. It's definitely worth mentioning more than once. The I like a natural look crowd. They don't know a no makeup face from a heavy makeup face at all, unless eyeliner or eyeshadow is involved, and then it's suddenly too much. It's not natural beauty. You just don't know what a woman looks like in real life. People whose entire identity is their jobs. I remember in my late 20s, early 30s especially, this was a big deal to so many of my friends. It was all they could talk about, and it was so boring. I actually had a really cool, well-paying TV job at the time, too, but I didn't talk about it that much. There's a whole world out there to get to know. People who mispronounce ordinary words. Italy, Illinois, Arkansas. I know it's stupid, but you did ask. Ooh, botched plastic surgery and injections. I feel bad, and I won't tell you to your face what's left of it, but we both know you made a poor decision. I know mental health is difficult, and I shouldn't judge you, but I am. I'm annoyed by the beggars who stand at intersections with cardboard signs. Most of them appear to be able-bodied, and I dismiss them as lazy bums. I'm not sure if they may actually have mental or addiction issues, but they shouldn't be out there distracting drivers. I assume most of that money will go to drugs and drink, regardless of what the sign says. People coming in late to church. People in other bathroom stalls making grunting noises or breathing heavily. None of us are at our most poised right now, but try and have a little decorum. Willful, prideful ignorance. Yeah, I think that's probably going to top most people's list right there. Because it's really annoying. Let's be fair. It's one thing to not know, you don't know what you don't know. But, if you're you're unwilling to learn, you're unwilling to hear another viewpoint, you're unwilling to teach yourself or be taught, yeah, that's probably something you should be judged for. We're all learning. We all need to learn. We all need to check ourselves before we wreck ourselves. I hate that saying. Anyway, thanks for listening and watching. I hope you have enjoyed these little videos. There's a lot more on the channel. Go check them out. And we'll talk to you next time. Bye.